Hello and welcome to All Talk No Dice, the worst excuse for a D&D show you can find online. From last we left off, the Companions of Fate were party to some hard truths or different opinions and stories of Raelof's mother, Drimbar explaining that Kraldro's wife, Andrea, had been sick soon after giving birth to Raelof, and then suffering until she slipped away weeks later before Drimbar and Jalen's eyes. Leaving the destination up to Raelof, you finally set your sights on Girolf to then reach the mountain once you return to Guldrone. Along the road, enjoying the sled carriage ride out into the open snow-topped landscape, passing large boulders and hills poking out of the ground, you all began to hear some rumbles and quickly found out that there was one thing in your path: trolls. Drimbar and Braum quickly got to safety along with Red and the sled driver, whilst the rest of you faced the trolls head-on, hurling magic and steel towards these slow-moving giants. However, you all realised a slight tear and unique quality in the space around you. Getting closer and closer to Girolf, moments in the fray you found your attacks or those of your enemies would begin to glitch, pushing you forward or backward for mere milliseconds, causing your strike to stay true, correct itself, become more difficult in the strike, or miss entirely, regardless of tactic or skill. Now, just as the final troll falls with a muffled shaking thud into the thick snow, and the large scorpion terror continues to pincer click dance atop the huge body of the troll, and you all take a slight moment to exhale and catch your breath, knowing that this was just a taste of what to expect once you enter Girolf. And this is where we pick it up. So, as the fight has now just decompressed, and you all find that chance to just exhale and wrap your mind around what was this affecting you through the fight and what just happened. You all kind of calm down, accompanied by the dance.
Exactly.
Can I search some of the bodies that are by the campfire currently, aren't I? So search for some arrows.
Yeah, sure. Roll a investigation check for me, please.
I want to use my claws to try snip some troll skin or fur, whatever it's classed as, and
Skin.
yeah. While I know I've got these sharper claws, it might do a better job than me using a knife or something.
Okay. And what do you want to do? Just pinch some flesh off?
Try to, or so I can roll it up and put it in my bag of holding when I revert back.
Okay. Roll a athletics check, which will be strength with the scorpion stats. And Gerald?
That's 16.
16. You root around and you begin walking across this campsite, and you notice there is about roughly about 7 or so dead orcs around, noticeably stomped on, and a couple just like their bodies and like their limbs just torn off. But you search around for arrows, and you do find, I'd say collectively you probably found about a full quiver's worth. So I'd say that has roughly 16 arrows in.
Cute.
Terror.
Scorpions athletics. On the +2 makes it 18.
Nice. I'd say within about 10 minutes of you just kind of like just moving, almost like a back massage, but just with pincers, and you begin to like sink in and peel and get your pincers underneath the thick hidey flesh.
Yeah.
Before you keep and just like cut some of the the muscle fibers and some of the meat and the flesh inside. You just sever. I'd say it takes you about 10 minutes or so to get like a good roll of troll flesh.
Roll of troll flesh. Yummy.
Although you instantly, as you cut open and you begin to peel it away, you get this straight, like, warm vomit-like aroma that is just so pungent and just necrotic, fleshy, and just almost like just snorting up like the scent of gangrene.
Nice.
as you peel off with your scorpion pincers.
Nice.
It's pretty stinky.
Once I know that I've fully done the roll, and I'm happy with that quantity,
Yeah.
I'll revert back into terrace form.
Yeah. Instantly, as soon as you do, you're like.
Nothing comes out.
Yeah.
But I'll put that in my bag of holding.
In that moment, you hear a voice shout over from the hillside, just echo across the landscape. Are all of you okay?
We're alive.
I'll be waiting here.
Fantastic. I'm going to search the troll that I've snipped.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for me.
I will do. Let me take off giant scorpions, fact sheets.
Can I see any weapons laying around?
19.
Yeah, quite a few. You look around, you see a few dull short swords, and a couple hand axes, dotted around where these orcish bodies are laying.
Okay. Then I will go around and pick up all the hand axes or any sort of throwing weapons that I can find there.
Okay, I'd say you find 4 hand axes.
Nice.
You can tell they're not real. These people whoever were here, or these orcs that were here, they weren't stocked up. They weren't, they didn't have like fine weaponry or large inventory of such items. It was just very sort of like basic weapons, but you salvage those 4 hand axes.
If we were to guess, would we guess that it may have been like a scouting party size?
Roll an intelligence check for me.
12. Intelligence.
Yes.
Intelligence is +2. That is 14.
It is roughly, from what you've seen, especially through the forests of home, you've seen this kind of group size for scouting and ambush parties a lot of the time.
Scout and ambush.
Maybe not an ambush on a large scale, but you heard tales of around your forest and on the main roadways. Whenever there was 1 or 2 merchants that would be on their trade routes, this kind of scouting ambush party would be more than enough to overthrow the merchants.
Yeah, and they're all orcs.
Yes.
Okay. Once I've done having a look at this troll to see what it has on its goods, I want to see, knowing that knowledge in my head, I'm going to also go to the orcs and see if I can get any more information on what they may have been doing, what the plans were.
Okay.
And if they've got any information from somewhere else or somewhere else.
Yeah. So right now, on the trolls person, the only thing you really find in a small pouch on its side, just haphazardly tied up with rope, you find a severed orc jaw, just the lower jaw with the teeth still intact, 2 tusks still intact, but it's not just bone and skeleton, it's got some meat and flesh. The tongue is still in there
I just
a little bit.
ripped
It's
out.
just
Like it has been ripped.
ripped out.
Ripped out.
You see, Theron.
My favourite colour. Red.
Yeah.
Is this what we were going to expect all the way in?
I'm not really sure. And you see him take his glasses off and look. I think it might get worse the closer we get there. Whatever this is, whatever kind of rift or tear is pushing and pulling us, I think it's going to get worse. I don't know what it is or how it works, but I can't see it getting any easier from here.
Yeah. Not with those crud glasses.
They're fine.
Get Tara to repair them.
No, it's fine.
He's good at that shit.
Oh, are we close enough, me and Rayloff, close enough to hear this conversation, or
Yeah.
are they... Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. But
Okay.
I will say to Theron, well, we're alive so far.
Yeah, and 4 trolls down. A lot
My
more to go when we
tell
get
me
there.
that they were pretty difficult. So we did pretty well.
Yeah,
They're only stories, but
I
this is the only ones I've actually seen.
still think we just need to worry a little bit about the closer we get, and when we actually get there.
Do you have any idea on like how bad it might be?
Well, I mean, I'm a master of time,
Well,
but no.
do plenty.
In-
Oh, Tara, if the ancestors of his town are all haunting that place, he must be approaching some real spooky shit as we get near.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to it.
no.
We could take it careful once we get closer. For now, I feel like we should just make some headway.
Right.
I
Okay.
will say still.
I'm gonna start heading towards the carriage.
Okay. Theron accompanies you and follows. Tara, roll an investigation check for me, please.
If it helps you, obviously it will definitely help me. I will
Yes.
look for the one that looks like they probably would have been in charge, like delegating the orders to the other orcs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Intelligence, did you say? Sorry.
Yes, please.
Or yeah. I'm going to use my lucky point. Definitely with that fucking natural one.
Nice.
That's my last one of the day.
Don't need any more.
Much better. Intelligence with +2 is 16.
Okay, 16. I'd say overall, you find roughly you find 17 copper.
17 copper.
You find 3 days worth of rations for a
I'll
single
get that
person,
real off.
and
I know he loves rations.
and the one interesting thing you notice about these orcs is, as you are searching through them, some of their clothes are torn, some of their bodies are just ripped apart,
Understandably.
but you notice that on the back of the neck you see this weird, like, just almost like a brand, and the brand is in the shape of like a very basic crown with a crescent moon above it.
Above. Would it be able to be? Would I have the skill to possibly draw something like it?
Oh, we can try.
I will try.
Okay.
I'm on about. Is it proper, like, detailed stuff,
No, it's very basic.
or is it? Then I will attempt to
Okay.
do
Yeah.
it.
I'd say. Yeah. Roll a performance or sleight of hand check. Your choice.
Start hand it is. Oh, shit. 4. It's a moon.
It's, you kind of get a very wonky banana looking crescent moon, and you're not sure whether you've just drawn like a simple crown or maybe a set of mountains.
I can actively see that this is trash. I've done a bad job.
Yeah, it's fucking garbage.
I'm going to get my knife and I'm going to just cut off the... This is my attempt. This is what it was.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand check for this because you are like being very precise to cut around and remove the flesh without destroying it.
I won't take the pistol. I go really close. I'll just take a chunk.
Yeah,
out.
okay.
Much better though. 17 plus 2.
Oh, fucking easy. 19. Yeah, you get your blade out and just...
I'm gonna fucking start it with that next time. Not even
you just peel it off.
Yeah, it's like freaking skinning a freaking animal.
Yeah.
Not saying I like to, but
you love it.
I know. Awesome. And have I seen any like orders or anything, or is it literally just they've done it in their own whim?
You haven't seen any pieces of parchment. No orders, no commands. You did notice, because you did a pretty good investigation check about everything, you did notice in the fire pit, you saw some very ashy looking pieces of parchment, or a piece of parchment. You found just like the very slight corner, but the rest was burned away.
Amazing. I will take some of my water out of my water skin, and I will try to throw it on the fire to see if that will stop it at least. And
the fire's already out.
Oh, okay.
It's been out for a while.
It's been out for a while, but I can actively tell that it's burned something.
Oh yeah, you can tell through the normal ash of the kindling and the logs. You can see little bits of that, like the lighter grey, ashy sort of strips from what would be parchment after being burned.
Well, I'll grab what I can actively say that this has come from paper.
Okay.
And I will run to Theron.
All right.
Theron!
Why are you running?
Master Organist of Time! Do you want to try to revert this?
No, I'm a little tired right now. So I
thought you were the Master of Time.
I am, but I think we should, just get some rest and make some headway.
You can't do it?
I can. I'm just really tired.
You just choose to not.
Yeah, I'm just really tired. So maybe another time though.
Can I see anything on this little chunk of piece of paper? Is there anything that might give me a hint of what it could have said, or is it literally just an E or something?
Roll an investigation check for me with disadvantage.
Sorry to get all these rolls.
No, don't worry about it.
18 was my first roll. 13 was my second. What did you say?
Investigation.
Investigation is +2.
Okay. You wipe some of the ash away from this little corner, and you notice that there was something that was handwritten. The only thing that you really see that's still handwritten and still on the page is a very just chopped up word, or two words, but you can easily just add them together and fill in the gaps, and it reads "eliminate them."
Okay.
And just barely visible, and only visible because of your very keen eyes, you see a seal that has been stamped.
Okay.
It's very faded and partially burned.
Yeah.
But you read the letters MP.
MP.
M like Mike.
And P for Pike.
P for Pike.
Pike. Yeah. For. I'll put brackets pike. Okay, and I will, while I'm still near Theron, I will see if he knows what this mark indicates, the crescent moon with the crown.
And he looks.
Sorry, Theron, do you know what this is? Stretching out the skin.
Yeah.
Not to take the pet spot,
yeah.
so it's wrinkles aren't wrinkles.
I think I've seen something like this before. I mean...
Do you want to hold it?
Sure, yeah.
If it's easy for you.
And he starts looking and just feeling across it. I mean, it might be, at least from what I've read, it could be one of those, mercenary groups that work under someone.
Like Pike.
No.
I'll turn this seal.
This group may have done this for Pike, but this symbol is definitely not from him.
But this is shown in the piece of paper.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you see an M and a P, I mean, who do you think?
But what's the M stand for?
$1.
Not mass. Oh. I'll punch Theron. Not hard, but like.
What? Just because you're too dumb to understand it doesn't mean I have to be.
No. Continue.
Anyway.
Fuck.
The only time I've seen this was a book that was depicting different groups or different goings on around Krilgard Charge. Now it's a ways away, so I don't know why anyone stamped by them would be here. But I don't know, maybe Pike has his claws in deep, and he passes the thing to you.
Bag of holding it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's been kept in my hands. Bag of holding. Just putting on my notes, bag of holding when I'm putting in it.
But anyway, should we get going?
Yeah, we can go.
Okay.
Let's go.
And you will make your way. Is there anything anyone wants to do before you leave this area?
Whilst we travel, Gerald's going to start doing the basis of a large drawing on a piece of parchment. But I will let everyone know what it is once we've sort of had more time on it.
Okay, alright. So, the rest of you gather up and all of you get in the sled. And just before you're about to leave, or set off, Braum just looks to you, Gerald, as you get back in the sled. Is everything okay?
Excellent. Wait, did you not watch us? God, I put on a spectacle for us.
Well, I did see just a few moments, but I was making sure that my grandfather was okay.
Yeah, I suppose, fair enough. I flipped from a tree and shot an ogre troll in the head.
Oh no, I saw that part. That was really something.
Exactly.
And pulling up next to the sled on the larger direwolf as Drimbar leans down. Okay, none of you are dead.
It takes more than that to kill us, God.
Good. I'm sure we'll get that tested soon.
Oh, don't tempt fate again, Pop.
I ain't tempting nothing, but we have to go through a few shady areas.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Now,
What? Sorry, Paul. Just so we have an idea, what area of expertise do you have?
oh, you'll find out soon.
Oh, fantastic!
Working.
Can't wait.
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of old tactics and everything, there are a few neighbouring villages next to Geralf. Do we want to go through, or do we want to go around?
Are they more happy?
I have no idea.
But you've been there before.
I've passed through.
So you have a better idea than me or Gerald.
And what about the little girl?
Well, he lives this way. Don't you, Theo?
Yeah, I mean, I never really went out much, but I think the villages are going to be better than the city. Maybe.
Well, it looks like the little girl can come with us.
Okay then. Right.
I'm assuming Red's still on the sled, the sleigh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Punch it off.
Very true.
Do you know what the town? Do you know what the towns that you were told to wait in were? Red.
Yeah. It was just fun.
Right.
Did that sound convincing? I want to incite it.
Roll an insight check.
Trash. Insight. Rolled a 6 with an insight of 4, 10.
Yeah, she's telling the truth.
Okay. No smirk, no nothing. Just straight face.
More or less straight face, just a bit confused by the question.
No problem.
Well, if they're on the way, I suppose we go through them.
Right then, so we're going through just a couple of neighbouring villages.
We can do.
And we're not stopping, are we? Just
I don't assume so.
Maybe if there's a tavern.
Well, maybe, but
I'll look for one.
the thing is that I don't really think that they want a royal baby in the village with them.
Ah, no, that's fair. Oh, speaking of, Rayla, I got you
Yeah.
a present. 3 should I add? Pull out the 3 rations. Here you go.
Oh, good. I can add it to my other ones.
You are welcome. You gotta fill that belly of yours, I'll give you belly a little rub.
Alright.
Whoosh!
I just did that. The sleigh driver looks back at you. And the dogs begin to move, and you feel that lurch slightly as the sled begins its travel again. I'd say through this time, okay, it's either do you want to stop off before nightfall, just before nightfall, and rest up, or do you want to power through some of the nighttime, becoming exhausted but getting to one of the neighbouring villages?
I feel like resting is probably going to be a good sight.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll go with resting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, you travel for another 3 hours, and you all begin to feel this weird, heavy sensation on your bodies, and it's kind of weighing you down. Except the next moment, you feel light and free. And then a little while later, you'll just begin to feel this weird pushing sensation, pushing you down and down. But
Question: am I getting these same feelings?
you are.
I am. Okay.
But you will stop off, and you huddle in at a small little alcove next to a small set of boulders that a couple have been like slightly hollowed out. You can tell that they were like partway through trying to hollow them out, but then left for whatever reason. So there's like some partly hollowed out boulders that you can like shelter underneath.
Yeah.
And you do notice, Gerald, now with that passive perception, that stupidly high perception,
Expertise, baby.
just as you're like setting your little like bedroll up, and Brom is helping you set things down, you hear the smallest little, and you
Just
look,
gonna sort of perk up here.
and you perk up, and you quickly snap your head to where that sound came from, and you see Theron just like as he's setting up his bedroll, like look confused and taking his glasses off and looking at them. He just folds them up and puts them in his jacket before he continues setting up his bedroll.
I'll go back down to focusing on the bedrolls as a fun there. But I'm going to use precipitation to start melting like some of the excess snow around, so that we have more just not so cold sleep.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, as you begin to clear that out, is there anything anyone wants to do? As you do set up, not a large camp, just a very small, just off to the side, settlement. Or settlement for now. Is there anything that you want to do?
I will. So I'll be using the ritual to get the area sorted.
Mm-hmm.
The thingy one. Or I will also be not use. So basically, what I wanted to do was use for Rayloff to accidentally use commune with nature, because with just reaching level up.
Okay.
So we'd done it before. That'll be after everyone goes to sleep anyway.
Okay. So you get the area sorted as well, Terra.
I want to go to Theron.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot to Theron.
That's fine.
And I want to say, Theron, you know your.
Hey.
I noticed while we were fighting the trolls, your glass cracked.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? I can fix it.
No, I mean, I can fix them too, but no.
Yeah, but
it's
you
okay.
haven't. You didn't for the first one, because the other one was cracked. Well, when did you do that?
You really don't need to. It's okay.
But if I can help.
Fine, you can try. And he just reluctantly pulls out his glasses and just hand them to you.
I'm gonna try to mend these glasses.
You
I want to try to fix the one that was broke that I saw, just
Okay,
in case anything's sentimental for the first one.
you begin to mend, and you begin to see that crack just and just close up even more so and disappear.
Yeah.
And just as soon as you've done it, you see one crack less. And
I'll lift it up towards the moon.
just as you lift it up, you see that crack emerge again. And this time with a small little extra just snaking crack off of it as well.
The fuck are these glasses?
It's not to do with the glasses. It's where we are.
So why didn't they get fixed when we weren't here?
I didn't fix them.
Well, when we're out, we'll fix them.
I'll think about it.
Are you going to be able to see with them?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Are you positive?
Yeah,
Don't want you missing.
I never miss. Come on, I'm the master of time.
You hit
Fine.
rail for lots of most of the time.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't my fault. It was him and that dumb shield that he's got.
It's true. But, just saying.
Do you want me to try and fix you?
No.
Okay.
I don't need fixing. I'm perfectly good as I am.
Okay, well, make sure you get some good sleep.
Yeah?
And,
Or whatever.
Oh,
I do.
power down.
Yeah? Uh-huh.
And, yeah, enjoy.
Cool.
Thank you
I will.
for
Trying to fix
ruining
your
my
glasses.
glasses even more.
I wouldn't say ruining the glasses more. You had plenty of time. I've been able to do that for a long time.
There's
And you chose to
another
not
mark
say, hey,
on them because of
hey.
you.
Well, you'll never forget me.
Great.
You're welcome.
I'm so happy.
But the moment we're out, I'll fix them.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'll find a prominent place where the shelters can like behind me, and I'm still in this dome that Raylos made. And then I'll power down there so I can see out.
Okay, cool. Alright.
That does me.
After settling down, having a few rations, Drimbar hopping off of the wolf and just getting himself in the chair that's been brought along, and then just pulling a bunch of blankets over him and like wrapping himself like a small little like a caterpillar almost. Nice. And all you see sticking out this small little like area for where he's left for his face is just his pipe sticking out and his big bushy eyebrows as he's just staying in there and partly falling asleep.
Anyone else feel like Pop-Pop's gonna turn into a butterfly?
And you just hear very muffled,
Shut up and get some sleep.
Fine. But it would be amusing.
and at that point Braum just whispers over to you, Gerald, you keep prodding the bear, you're going to wake up with no shoes.
Duly noted.
Good night. And you all do just take a second before you sleep or power down.
Gerald's gonna cuddle into Braum, actually, as he goes on.
As some of you are swaddled in cuddles and being kept a little bit warmer, you do look up and you see, albeit it's freezing cold, it is like Antarctica.
We'll be cool in the bubble.
Yes, ignore me. As it's freezing cold on the exterior, you find that like lukewarm coolness about the immediate area, but you look up and you see the gorgeous dark sky that is dotted with so many stars. It's almost like having a blanket of starlight across all of you. And Tara, in that moment, you do feel a little bit sad about Mogwai, but
yeah, I was going to add that. I want to look at the moon.
Yeah.
And think maybe, possibly, Mogwai's looking at the same moon. I don't care. This would be the first night without Mogwai, so I'll take it.
And you feel all of what you feel like must be emotions.
Oil coming down.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just a little bit of grease, just.
Yeah. Totally not me.
And you look up to the moon, and the sky's lit up with these incredible stars. They just shimmer a nice white and cyan light across all of you. But as most of you fall to sleep, Rayloff, as you are within the bubble, and you are just figuring out how you're feeling inside, you do have that sort of like, you have this weird warmth that rises in your belly and in your chest, and then you kind of just let it expel out. And you feel like a slight weight lifted off your chest. And you have cast Commune with Nature. So, how would you like to go about the spell?
In what sense?
Well, let's see.
Is this a spell that Rayloff's doing? Is
Yes.
a spell that he's...
Yes. In the outdoors, the spell gives you knowledge of the land within 3 miles of you. In caves and other natural underground settings, the radius is limited to 300 feet. The spell doesn't function where nature has been replaced by construction, such as dungeons and towns, but you instantly gain... Okay, let me just say, it's commune with nature, correct?
But I don't think that's how it works.
Well,
no, it is.
Commune with nature, you instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area. Terrain and bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals or peoples, powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elementals or undead, influence from other planes of existence, and buildings.
That's pretty cool.
For example, you could determine the location of powerful undead in the area, the location of major sources of safe drinking water, and the location of any nearby towns.
Yeah. Okay. I was getting confused. So in the actual description, it says it just says that a spiritual version of one of the animals of your aspect comes to convey it for you.
Okay.
That's what I was getting confused about. So it is still commune with nature. It's just
So, what 3 facts would you like to know about the surrounding area?
So I'd like to know if there is any influence from any other planes of existence in the current area.
Okay.
What sort of people might be around the area?
Mm-hmm.
And also, how far out are we from? Just as a guess.
From?
Girulf.
I'd say about 15 miles or so away.
Okay, so that's not really in range. I guess then I'll just go with any prevalent animals as well.
Okay. So...
I wasn't sure if they count as separate things.
Yeah. So you focus, and the knowledge just comes to you. You look down, and a small, spectral fox just...
Well, it'll be based on what my aspect is, which will be a dragon.
There you go. Okay. So I'll say a small bearded dragon just wanders through and looks up to you, and it just quickly and just leaps at you, and as it kind of leaps towards you, it just sinks into you and disappears. And as it does, your mind is just full of the knowledge of those 3 questions that you're wondering of. Yes, there is influence from other planes of existence. To which plane, you are not actually sure, as it seems to be influenced by multiple.
Interesting.
What kind of peoples are around was one of them, right?
Yeah.
In the immediate 3-mile vicinity, farming folk, humans, a few elves, and also some I forget the actual name, but some rabbit folk. And what was the last one you asked for?
Any prevalent animals.
Prevalent animals. Moving aside from the direwolves with you, prevalent animals, I guess, on this end would probably be pretty much the one form of giant bison. They will wander around in these colder climates with the heavy fur coats, large grey horns, and absolutely massive beasts.
So not any hunting animals then within 3 miles?
Not within 3 miles of you, no. Except for the direwolves right next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you all fade to slumber, and you will close your eyes, you power down, and you set your heads to rest for the night. Gerald, as you find the darkness surrounding you, you hear a slight whisper. Are you hungry?
I haven't felt that in a while.
Let it flow. And immediately, you feel a slight, like, pushing sensation. And as you open your eyes a little bit more after that push, you find yourself in the ridge. You look to your old friends, acquaintances, family, and they're all chatting and going about their business. And you begin to feel that hunger begin to curl inside you. Even as a younger Kenku, you feel that urge. You don't know whether it's to fight or flight or take what's yours or ask to borrow. But you feel that hunger rise up and you see everyone is getting on with their business. And you hear that voice again. Are you hungry?
As I'm not going to actually respond now, I'm just going to eventually start thinking, I am hungry.
And as soon as you think that, you just feel that thought ripple through your mind. And then as you look at everyone, they have just stopped. And all staring at you. Their pale, glazed eyes, all staring at you. Family, friends, villagers, farmers, guards, all staring at you.
And sort of just be like, just sort of observing them, but also don't almost like trying to pick out which one almost looks like the tastiest at that point.
You see the fairly chubby kid that you used to go to school with, and he's looking meaty.
Good to sort of reach out and just sort of take over it to his shoulder.
Just as you reach out, you find your arm. You are about 20 feet away from this crowd, but as you reach out towards this kid, again, right now the same age as you are, but the entire world around you just like almost rambles and shifts towards you, and as you reach that hand out, the boy just seems to just get closer with everyone else, and as your hand grabs his shoulder, everywhere else just and flickers to darkness like a bulb going out. And the one light is just looking down towards both of you. You see him staring, but in the moment, no expression. But you begin to see tears just rolling down the cheeks.
I am going to just then sort of lean in, just go towards his neck, Actually, just to essentially go to bite it.
And as you go to bite, you feel this this innate burning sensation in your chest, and you immediately pull away and you look down, and you see a wooden stake driven deep into your chest. And the boy...
Yeah, that point doesn't wake me up at all.
Right now, it doesn't. But the boy looks at you.
It's definitely going to look up in shock, like...
And the boy just leans to you. This is what happens when you're hungry and you don't take them all. Take all of them. Feed on all of them. Satiate your hunger. Before his hand shoots out to you and pushing that stake even further to the point where you feel like it's pushing out of your back, and you and you wake up. But you look to the party around you, you look to Braum next to you, and all of them limp, lifeless on the ground. Trails of red snaking from their necks, pooling around them.
Going to essentially try and take Brom's blood immediately, essentially that's pooling out.
As soon as you do, you almost begin, as soon as you suck some of the blood out, and then that wild intensity drives you even further, and you begin lapping at the blood that's spilt on the snow. You scramble over to Theron and Rayloff and do the same. And then you scramble over to Terra, and just as you try and find something, you go to bite, and it's tough, but you feel like whatever is inside her you need right now. You hear the voice, hunger, take everyone. And you feel that innate push, that burning in your chest sensation is beginning to grow again and again, and you feel like you can't breathe. You can't even look anywhere else. The only peace that you find is when you look at Terra and you feel you're going to get what's inside her. What do you do?
I'd like to, sort of like claw at Tara then, to then try and get into deeper to access it.
Is that to her neck or?
To her body actually for that.
Okay. Can you roll a melee claw attack with advantage for me?
Okay.
And I can see and hear him just trying to at me.
That's a 17.
Okay. Roll damage for me for your claw.
That's 8 damage.
8, okay. You begin clawing and clawing and scratching and scraping, and just as you do, Terra, as you're powered down and you feel the tapping, and then you hear like a labored breath of and you begin to hear that clawing against you, and you find Gerald almost in a trance, his eyes completely red, and he is just going and clawing like a rabid animal at you, and you've already sustained 8 slashing damage.
You're probably hearing saying, "Give it, give it."
I'm gonna try to try and grab his arms.
Okay,
to stop
I'd
the
say
club.
roll an unarmed attack for me.
Yes.
I'd say with advantage because he's in his own
Thank you.
delirium, his own world.
Okay. Roll 13 with unarmed.
No,
It's,
my AC's 13.
It's okay.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, nice.
And in that moment, you grab the wrists.
I'm going to bring him like closer to, like, so we're closer face to face. You've got to stop.
And Gerald,
Like, bite immediately if the... Like, because I can't claw, bite.
yeah, you go for the bite, and just as Tara says stop, you don't hear anything of what she said, or you don't feel what's happening except your arms being restricted. But you're looking down at a lifeless Tara as you have clawed, but your arms are just up here now. And you're looking down, and just as you go to bite, you hear stop, 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 just echo through, and your eyes almost become clear, and you are in the small dome with your allies sleeping around you, completely fine and safe, with Tara looking worried and angry at you, gripping and clutching at your wrists, and you see a couple slash marks across her chest and abdomen.
Like, if I could portray fear, that's what my eyes would show you.
Yeah.
The hell is happening? Why are you holding me?
You ask me.
I was eating.
I'll look down to see if I've got any exposed on my front, and he only clawed me towards the back.
Yeah. Towards the front,
Yeah.
on your body, and you do
Yeah.
you just see 2 slash marks that have caught, and you do see just like snaking out. You see that like blacky red, like oily blood, just gently seeping out of the wound.
Would my for the dome, would it have woken me up, or
No.
wouldn't have noticed it? Okay.
Whatever it is, you need to figure it out.
Like, what have I... Oh god.
You're just lucky it's me.
Did I do that?
No. Pop-Up did. Yes.
Let me go a second. Just...
I'll let him go.
I go to quickly scurry over to my bag to then grab 2 vials and immediately drink them.
Yeah, as soon as you... And Tara, in that moment, as Gerald drinks,
Yeah.
his eyes do begin to coalesce that red colour across all the pupils and the iris and the entire eyeball.
Yeah.
And just as he exhales after drinking that second one, you see the eyes just, or the redness just fade away as he exhales. And Gerald, in that moment, you feel settled. You feel satiated for the time. But
I'll kind of wave him over without shouting, but carry on.
But you feel
I will.
in the back of your head, you just feel this hunger growing and growing. 2 vials before used to satiate you for maybe a few days, but you're already feeling like you could have more. Not starving, just
Not quite satisfied.
not quite full.
I'll head over to him. Sorry.
Your eyes were red.
It's not... It's not working as well, Tara.
How much have you got left?
But don't you? You still have a couple.
Yeah, I will just quickly make sure I definitely have them written in.
I think you got like 6 and you're...
Yeah, I don't know if I written them in the thing to say I've got them or if I just put them down as notes. I'll have a look at my notes. But yeah, I agree with that. I think I do have some on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just... Did you have any idea you're going to be this bad? I don't think I've seen you like this.
Before I could get away with just the one. Now it's 2. And now even the 2 isn't doing it. I might be fine getting to Geralt.
How far away is the town? Or do we know how far away the town is?
One the neighbouring villages?
The neighbouring
or
village.
Okay, neighbouring village. I'd say you're probably about 2.5 miles away.
Okay. I think maybe Gerald's also thinking what I'm thinking.
I was also just whilst... So, yeah. Is it time to tell the others?
I think it would be nice for them to know. But Theron already has his thoughts. He was speculating before. Maybe tell him last.
About Pop-Pop, bro.
They might have seen worse. They might be able to help.
Come on, Nora. With the vampires aren't exactly known for being, you know, nice, fluffy, huggable creatures of the night, are they? They're known
Well,
as terrors of the night.
how about you just go to sleep in front of me in that direction? I'll keep an eye on you. If I have to wake up, or with like a concerned but promising grin, if I have to wake up, I'll hunt you down. I'll try to stop you.
No.
Your arms are crazy.
I'm going to just be away for a moment.
Okay.
I'll be fine. I'll be back by dawn. And Gerald's going to actually try and just get, as long as Tara doesn't stop him, he's going to grab just a couple more vials. And take his bow. No, as in if 2 fresh vials. He's going to leave his stuff. He's going to take the 2 fresh vials, the bow, and his arrows. He's then going to just head out into the wilderness, essentially.
Okay.
Let me just quickly, in that moment, see if I can... There's nothing really I can... Just to give you a hand. Assuming that that's what the bow was, what I'm thinking, what he's thinking. He's going to use the bow to kill something for him to stockpile his blood amount. There's nothing I can do right now to help you, so I won't do anything.
Right.
Oh, actually, wait. I'll give him some good berries.
Okay.
I'll summon some good berries and hand him over to him. Good luck.
I'll just sort of close your hand back over himself. You know they don't film me.
It's worth a try.
Alright, and then I'll reluctantly sort of take them from her. No.
Yeah.
And then Tara,
I'm going to be sleeping them back, so...
Tara, you briefly watch as Gerald kind of very quietly and adeptly gathers his bow and arrows and a couple of vials and just snakes off into the night sky as you
power down back into the same place
power down back
as I
in the
was.
same place. Kind of like crossing your arms and covering those slash marks for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, question. Can I mend myself?
No.
That I will have them permanently on me.
You'll see when you wake up.
Okay, no worries, that's fine. Yes, I will sleep with them being covered.
Okay. Gerald. Out in...
He's actually... mainly I'm actually just going to take the bow for protection.
Mm-hmm.
My main idea is actually just to sort of head out and then... Almost like if I meet an animal, the idea is actually to see if they would just approach me and see me as friendly first.
Okay. You continue heading northeast or so. Just continuing towards that direction, almost heading to Geralf itself. And you don't really see many small creatures, but you do see just stood about 100 feet away or so from you after probably about an hour and a half walk away. You see this one little pig, probably only just barely growing from a piglet, standing there and beginning to munch at the one tuft of green grass that is sprouted out from the snow. And in that moment of silence, the only thing that you feel is that churning hunger, building and building, and you look forward and you see a release, you see satisfaction.
Try my best to sort of just hold that down.
Roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay. That is 4.
You try and hold this back, but before you know it, you are just darting towards the pig. And within a blink, all you hear is a as you look down and you are cradling the pig over it as it's slumped on the ground. In your claws, all 5 little blades or talons are just sunk into the pig's neck and sternum.
As I sort of pull out, and I'm going to immediately just feast.
Yeah.
I've had no control over that. I'm just going to straight up.
The one thing you notice at this point that is different, and you actively feel that this is different, is you're not just feasting to very gently satiate you. You are starving, you are animalistic. Whatever's taking over you, rather than that very delicate just feast that you are used to, you dig your claws into the flesh and begin to tear it open, reach in and pull, snap and pull bones out just to taste more and get very much to the center of this pig, to its still barely just beating heart as you limply pull it out, snipping the aorta and just letting the blood just slowly drip out as this heart ever so slowly just slowly begins to stop beating as the blood, this gorgeously warm blood just warming your hands and down your throat and across your face, and you're just on your knees, almost hunched over the pig, like as a wild animal claiming its prey, making sure no one can get it. and you're looking down and you're holding this very hefty pig heart.
I'm actually going to eat the heart. No, damn well it does basically nothing apart from the blood that's left in it, essentially.
And you begin to feel the textures as you tear and rip into this heart. You feel the texture of the heart and the meat, slimy and gooey and really not pleasant. And you find yourself nearly gagging and hurling at times before you catch that very beautiful irony taste of blood. And as soon as you taste that, just on the very tip of your lips, and you just keep going and just pushed further and further, you begin, once the heart is done, you just slam your hand back into the carcass and pulling out organs. You begin to take out 2 ribs at a time and just cleaning off all of the meat, only to get the blood, filling your actual belly with this useless material, this useless solid food. Yet the iron, the gorgeous, thin yet thick blood from different places begins to overwhelm you, and you begin to get almost blissful and in a state of almost arousal as you just tear and tear. You pull kidneys out and begin to taste those. You throw those to the side and you keep going. You begin and you find its liver and just reach out, grab its stomach, and you just tear open just to see what's in there. And in this moment, after what feels like no time at all, you look up to the sky and the moon is just barely touching the horizon now. And you've been out for hours. And you look across your form and you are just coated in blood and bile and chunks of organs and meat.
Have I come back to sort of my senses as such, per se?
Just as you look to the pig, and after looking at the sky, you take one more gulp of whatever blood-covered meat was in your gullet. And your mind becomes your own again. And you feel...
After sort of realizing I'm going to be looking around, like, even though I'm feeling inside, like, in terms of hunger-wise, sated and satisfied, happy with it, you know, almost as better as I felt because I've almost been rationing myself. But emotionally, he's just going to sort of look, and he's just going to break down and start crying into the corpse.
And as you
He's going to spend some time, just weeping into it.
And through the tear-filled eyes, you keep looking at the lifeless gaze from the pig's eyes, and not even an inch or so below its neck, you'd look at the carcass that is torn, ripped, severed, mutilated, and you just weep, and you cry out into the silent night around you. Your feathered hands are sticky and cold with once warm, fresh blood, and you just find yourself weeping for a short time.
My plan is, essentially, I want to go back towards the campsite, but for when they wake up, my plan is, well, essentially, when everyone wakes up, I'd like to send a message to Tara, but I'm going to be doing it far away.
Okay.
It's got 120 foot range.
Okay.
So I'm going to be out of everyone's way, and I'm not actually going to be back in the camp.
Okay. I'll say then, as sunrise hits and all of you have had a long rest, except for Gerald.
The Bloodwood has given me a long rest, per se,
ignore
for
me
that.
then.
And it ignores the exhaustion then.
You ignore exhaustion due to your feast, extremely large feast. You all begin to rise, and Terry, you look down to your abdomen, and the claw marks are gone.
I'll open it like I'm trying to keep it a secret. Just I'll keep my hands open a little, check. And then more of a like mental confused face.
The only thing left behind would be very light, like slightly different tone, like I guess a metallic version of scars, but not deep. Just very lightly set on the surface. But at a glance, no one would ever notice. And in that moment, you also look around and you see people getting up. And you see Braun waking up, but you don't see Gerald next to him. And in that moment, you hear a voice push into your head.
You just gotta hear. Take my stuff. Don't try to look for me. And then he's just going to it's just all it's going to be, just a quick little. He's going to sound very dejected. There's no like life or enthusiasm in his voice that comes through in a message.
Does it sound like he's forced into a predicament?
Carry on without me. That was it.
Without any insights, he sounds like he has no choice.
You can reply in a whisper to me, which only I can hear anyway.
Okay. My response is it similar to so many words, or is it just?
It says 1 round, so probably try and limit it to quite short.
Quite short. Are you sure? The group's not as interesting without you.
But you don't get a response.
That's fine.
My plan is, I want to track and tail the party.
Okay.
But I'm not going to stay around them.
Okay.
Even if I'm going to be slower, I'll take the time to catch up.
Braun wakes up and like looks to you, Tara, looks to everyone. Oh, that was a very nice sleep. Where is Gerald? Has he gone take a shit again?
No, he gave me a knock. He says he's gonna hunt for some food, but I'm assuming he couldn't find any. But he did say that if he was out too long, he'll probably catch up.
Okay, well, I have complete confidence in his ability, so I will get his stuff. And Braun begins to pack up Gerald's bedroll and his own. Pop. Just wheels slightly to all of you. Okay, so everyone slept okay?
Yeah, nothing that I could see.
Good. So we're going to be going just along, and you want to go through the neighbouring village or villages?
If you think it's worth it, I feel like it's a good decision.
Well, I think we can definitely do something like that.
Yeah. Is there anything worth visiting, or just more of a pass by?
Not really. I mean, the only things that I did was pass by these villages because my job wasn't there. It was inside Gulf. So
Yeah, we'll take your path.
Okay. We'll head through just one of the small little villages, just maybe even to get a little respite if we're exhausted by the time we get there. And then we can decide on if we want to keep going through or we just go around the next 1 or 2.
Yeah, how long do you think it'll take us to get there?
To Gerolf?
Yeah.
I'd say another 2 days.
If we
We've already made like a lot of good progress, so it shouldn't take too much longer.
Do you think we could get to a neighbouring village tonight? And
Absolutely.
Then we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're only in one village for one night.
So
We'll come last night.
is that the plan then? While Gerald isn't around and he's out hunting, are you the de facto leader now?
Well, I always was.
Oh, you've always been the leader.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense.
We'll take your high wisdom because I don't know these lands.
Okay, well,
I know this is snow, and I'll dig some snow.
well, that is very perceptive.
I know we can throw it, and I'll throw it at Red.
And Red is just waking up, and just as she stretches, like, and just gets nailed in the face by some snow.
Fuck! That's
Okay,
all I know, really.
well, at least you know some things. Well, at least now I know who to look after or look at if anything goes wrong.
Put my thumb up.
Right, everyone ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
And I'll say to Pop, nothing goes wrong when we're in charge. When we're in charge, I'll make sure that's clear to him.
Yeah.
When we're in charge.
And Pop just,
Subtle nod, and then I'll kind of gesture whatever
yeah.
Pop recommends.
And you all continue onwards.
Stuff.
And you get yourself back on the road, or the small roadway that you can barely find. You usually veer off anyway, but with the dire wolves pulling you and Drimbar leading, you don't seem to have too much of a tough time.
Okay.
But you do.
I was just gonna say, while we are traveling, I'll probably just say to Theron. Theron, do you know much about different planes?
Yeah, I mean, I know some of a little, but I don't know. I'm more about time rather than space and dimension. Time.
And time.
Do you know then why the planes are being affected around here? Other than
Well, I mean,
whatever happened.
my best guess is based on whatever happened.
Because I got some kind of hard to explain it, but I had managed to find a way to ask around about what was happening, and from what I was told, the area around here is being influenced by a lot of other planes.
I mean, that's news to me, but I can totally see it. Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
I have no idea. But I'm sure it may be something to do with Gerolf, and I'm just hoping that when we get there we can amend everything and sort everything out, and maybe that'll fix everything. Hopefully so.
What exactly is your plan to fix whatever happened?
Well, that depends on the situation. The first thing I want to do is get there, get to Pike, and kill that little motherfucker, and then find out what we can do.
If we can hear that, I will agree. I'll just nod.
But really, it shouldn't be. It should be quite a short journey to get there, so we should really think about what we're all doing when we're there. And maybe then we could, and just as he's speaking, you all hear, Gerald as well, as you're off away from the party, you all hear this very distant but growing louder. And as you try to look around the landscape, you see a good 30 or so miles away, across the flat snow-covered landscape, you see that small for where you're looking, you see the large clock tower of Geralf standing above the rest of the entire city and above the rest of the villages neighbouring. And you see a large blue beam just shot up from the clock tower, and you hear that grow and grow before the beam just sinks down to the clock tower. And then in a moment you see this large dome shockwave just emanate across all of Geralf and the neighbouring villages, and just ending shortly within only 200 feet from you. And you see the snow just curl up slightly and almost revert a little bit to ice. And then part of the snow and the ice crumbles and changes colour and changes to earth and dirt. And that's where we're going to take a quick break and come back in, well, hopefully just a small little while. Yeah, mindfuckery, eh? It's fucking awesome. Awesome. So, to everyone watching, thank you for sticking around. We hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. It's gonna get really Doctor Strangey and a lot fucking worse, possibly, the more we get in. So, yeah, good luck to us and good luck to you watching. But we are going to go take a small little break to go get some snackies and use the bathroom. So if you need to, please go do that now. And we will see you back in just a very short while. Hello and welcome back to the game. As we come back in, the Companions of Fate continuing their journey throughout Yolduheim. Upon the journey, after killing the trolls, you looted and found what you could and salvaged what you could. Later on, there began talks of what Rayloff had figured out, of the entire area being affected, and not just this plane of existence, but somehow another plane of existence, or multiple, also affecting this entire realm. And within the night, Gerald began to have a vision of growing hunger, and that vision turned into assault as Tara powered up, finding Gerald attacking her and just craving whatever she had inside. And after a brief talk, Gerald went out into the wilderness and decided to hunt what he could. But while trying to show some restraint, something inside you burned and you pushed further. And you feasted, and feasted unnaturally so. And definitely not akin to how you normally satiate your hunger. But as the morning sun rose and you all completed a long rest, Terry, you heard a voice in your head from Gerald, informing you that he has to stay away for a while and not to come looking for him. And with your minds made up and knowing that Gerald shouldn't be too far away and will be okay on his own, you all continue to venture out towards one of the neighbouring villages of Girolf. And just as you're about to all get up and climb into the sled and continue your travel, you saw a huge column of blue arcane light jettison up from the clock tower miles away before reducing down to nothing, and then a large shockwave that affected miles and miles and miles around Girolf. So much so that only a couple hundred feet away from your very party, you saw some of the snow around where the shockwave had ended just freeze more so into ice and then crumble to fresh, clean earth. And that is where we're coming back in. You instantly hear Drimbar,
What in the gods was that?
I'll turn to Red. Do you know what that could have been?
don't look at me, it's nothing to do with my people.
Oh, I know. It's just in case that was like a beacon, or...
We weren't told anything about that.
That's fine. I'll take your word.
And
in doing so, I will take your word for it.
And straight away, Drimbar goes over and just grabs Theron, who is just completely just shocked and in awe, and almost frozen. And Drimbar just grabs his shoulder and pulls him down.
Is this you, little girl? Huh? What is all this?
And Theron, almost dejectedly, just as he's being pulled down and manhandled by the dwarf, you just hear him mutter, "I really don't know." Before Drimbar kind of,
Well, we're going to have to face whatever that was very soon.
We haven't seen this even from a larger distance.
No.
Okay. Cool.
So are we still going through the villages, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to go and pass through Elvik, which is... It's not really the friendliest village. but it'll get us closer to where Geralf is.
If you think you can traverse the path most efficiently, then I think we trust you.
Well,
You know this place better than us.
well, I have this. I made sure, just in case we got lost or we didn't know where we were, where we wanted to be. I made sure I went through some old things at home, and I found an old map that I used to have of Geralf and the surrounding area. If any of you would like to have a look.
Ooh, I will definitely have a look.
Okay then.
And he just reaches behind his chair.
Yeah.
And he grabs some hide.
Flash it up. I'll wait for the 7th time.
No, just 2.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, thank you. And he pulls out some hide that's rolled up, and as he rolls it out, on the one side, on the skin side, is etched in this small map of Geralf and the surrounding villages. I will show you what it looks like.
Yum. Very nice.
So right now, you are more towards this area.
Okay. Like off the map, but that
Yeah.
way. Draw a little circle.
So you're just a ways away from Elvik.
Okay.
Would you like me to go over all the places?
At least the places that we will have to pass to get to.
Okay, so depending on where you want to go, it would most likely you would go from Elvik, and you would either go to Words Whirl, or Weird's Whirl,
Yeah.
and then up to Volkov, and then into Geralf, or
Okay.
but that would be coming from the side.
Yeah.
Of the city. If you wanted a more like direct route, it would be Elvik, and then you would pass through through the ruins over to Deer Rider Keep, and I think it's Deer Rider Keep, and head up into Geralf.
That's this one?
Yes.
Cool. I will ask Pop-Up, which direction did he come from when he went to Geralf? Which way did you go?
Well, I mean, it was about three decades ago, and there wasn't nearly as many fully operational villages that surrounded. There were little settlements, but the way that we came, we went all the way towards the southern end, and we went to Oskar. And once we left Oskar, it was just a straight across the Oskarian Pass, which is the extremely large bridge. And we just went through some of the forest and followed the path through. The Rider Keep wasn't even there at the time. It was just a few tents and a few huts. Nothing really in development.
Crazy. Do you think it's best to stick with the towns or the villages?
Well, I mean, that really depends. I think getting to Elvik will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But from there, we should really speak about where we're going, because there's plenty of things that will get in the way and slow us down. And if whatever the hell that was, whatever the gods have in store, we really need to make sure that we get there sooner rather than later.
It's true. If it's okay with everyone else, I think we should just get as straight as possible.
Well, you said you all wanted to rest up in the first village.
Like, if we get to Elvik and then rest there, and then we go as far as we can and camp where we can.
Well, you want to go through the small acreage just before we hit Whale?
I think that might be a good. Yeah, well, we'll see how far we can get through that way, and I'll point on the map that direction.
I will just say that just past the Whirl, there is a... I wouldn't say it's really a canyon, but it's been rumoured and thrown tales around of being called the frozen precipice.
Is that bad?
Well, I mean, it's either been called the frozen precipice or the or just the death dip.
Bad.
So, I mean, we could cross it if we were able to fly or able to maneuver over the canyon itself. But if we don't have means for that, then
Oh, no point.
then there's no point going that direction. Malin, take a look at this. What do you think?
We definitely want to try and get there as quick as possible.
Pop.
Aye.
Would it take us long to get from Elvik to Caldol? Caldol?
From Elvik to Cradle, I mean, the only obstacle in our way there is really just, you know, a little bit of the mountain ridge, but then also the large body of water that passes across the whirl. But if we can get over that, it should be smooth sailing over up until Cradle.
And I'll point particularly in this particular area, and you can tell me if it's wrong. Is that a bridge?
It was a bridge.
But it's no longer a bridge.
Well, I haven't been here in about 3 decades, but there was talks when we were here of them constructing a bridge, but also below the bridge was a dam. But with everything that's gone on around Geolf, I wouldn't be surprised if the surrounding area has been affected to the point of the dam is not there, the bridge is not there. But we can definitely go and check it out.
I feel like that might be a worthy spot, because we're close to a village, and worst case scenario, if the bridge isn't there, we can always try coming back.
Well,
What about the
no.
path to the south west?
Oh, across the ruined mountains.
Would that be easier? We might have a
Depending on what lurks within the ruins.
Is this him drawn? Has he drawn this map?
You don't know. It looks, obviously, homemade.
Okay. I'm going to point at this. That looks scary.
Aye.
And that's on a map.
Aye.
I reckon someone's seen something like that. That looks...
Well, I
like,
mean...
my eyes will open a bit more.
Well,
Scary.
we did have a scouting party that came out with us, and before we got to Geralt, we decided to get the lay of the land, and that's what was described to me.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, it's been 30 years, so there's a good chance that those ruins aren't even there anymore. Or, on the other hand, maybe some ghost and ghoulies have overrun it, and anyone who walks in just instantly drops to their face and dies. Gone. forever. We won't really know until we go and check it out ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, I went over the scary bridge last time, so Rayloff can do it this time.
Well, if Malin is ready, and all of us are ready to go, then we can start making our way.
Yeah, it's probably best just to go up the safer route,
Okay, so
relatively speaking.
first stop to Elvik,
Albert.
and then as we rest, we decide where we're heading.
I feel like that's a positive plan right now.
Okay.
Do
Right.
you think we could? Do you think we could be able to see if the bridge is there when we get to Elvik?
It's a good distance away, and everything is a little flat, so you might be able to see. So if the bridge and the dam are completely gone, you'll still see the part of the bridge that is affixed into the ground. But unless we can get an overview or get closer, we won't be able to see if that bridge continues to the other side or off.
Well, if I remember right, Theron has a friendly passenger. They can just.
And Theron just like smugly looks over. Yeah, don't worry, I got that covered. I'm a master, so.
Yeah. So, maybe when we get to Elvik, Theron could do a little scout.
Well, I think getting as much information before we head out is
What's the plan?
very good.
So, Theron, you're on scout duty when we're there.
Yeah, listen. I'll nail it, okay?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you can nail it when you show us that you have.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Okay. Positive?
Yeah.
Positive? As in, like, with a bit of a sterner face, like, you bullshitting? If he says, yeah, again, I'm going to incite him. If he says no, then I won't.
I'm just a little worried.
Okay, I'll take that as a legit. Understandably.
But come on, we keep going and you never know. I mean, wait, where the fuck is Gerald gone?
You need a lesson.
Why?
He's gone. For now. He was just going off for some food. And he says he'd be back, but he says if he's not back by the time, he'd catch up. He's pretty good. He's seen him move.
Okay, I mean, just saying though, getting closer and closer to Geralt, and people just start running away.
Oh, you know a lot about that, don't you?
I've never ran away.
About when we were in the shop.
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally?
No,
He purposely says, you stay here, I'm going to leave.
I had a job to do.
The worst kind of job.
Listen, little girl over here is gonna get father-in-law to beat you up.
Sure. He could, but you're not going to make him.
No? What? Do you want to bet?
No, I'm not going to bet anything.
I will bet 2 silver
2 silver.
that just on one mere command, I can make him hurt you. As his favourite daughter, son-in-law.
Okay. 2 silver.
Hmm.
And when you say that, you will laugh. And possibly, only possibly, because I've never seen him do it, smoke some pond weed before we leave. Yeah?
Okay. Okay,
I'll
deal?
shake hands on him.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. And you see Theron kind of looking down at the ground, just like playing with his hands, walking up to
Yeah.
Drenbar.
I'm going to be watching him. Watching Theron, not Pop-Pops.
Hey, Pop-Pop. And you just see Drimbar, like, just as he's like just packing a bowl of pondweed into his pipe, just looks up. Aye. And Theon looks a little bit nervous and.
Well, come on, spit it out.
Yeah, totally. As your daughter-in-law, son-in-law, you will do as I command, and you will go and beat the shit out of Terra. Do you understand me? And Pot just puts the pipe in his mouth.
I'm trying to keep
And-
as
yeah.
facial as possible.
It just looks up, and looks over to Terra, then looks back up at Theron, and he just strikes a match, and lights his pipe.
Fuck off.
And Theon's like, yeah, totally, okay, cool, yeah.
I'm
And
going to
begins
put
to
my
walk.
hand out.
Fucking hate this game. Costs 2 silver
Thank
now.
you.
I'll make sure to mark that off of Theon's coin.
Would I have heard all of that happening?
Oh yeah, all of you would have. Yeah.
Yeah. If Theron looks towards me, you just look. You would just see me just staring at him. Just why?
And you see Theon just walking on. But you all get geared up, get in the sled, and begin to move. Is there anything any of you would like to do within the 2 or 3 hours it'll take you to get to Elvik?
I believe I'm okay.
Only
Why?
what I've messaged you for DM.
So,
Only what I've messaged you
okay.
on my
Yeah,
phone.
sounds good to me.
You say it's going to take us 2 to 3 hours to get to
Elvik. Yes.
Elvik. Half an hour before we get to Elvik, or our last pop-up, how far away, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
When he roughly says about 30 minutes, I'm then going to cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
Just in case we're getting watched in, then at least it'll. The Pass Without Trace will help
Yeah.
everyone.
Sounds good to me.
I'll
So-
also include these to be the direwolves
Okay.
within the Pass Without Trace.
All right. So
even their tracks are covered.
all of you begin to make a lot less sound as you continue. Rayloff, is there anything you wanted to do?
I was just gonna pull out the old pot of pleasantness and see what Lady Luck has for me.
Okay. Roll a percentile for me.
Pull thing down.
Mm-hmm.
92.
92. Okay. You look down into the pot of pleasantness, and all you see sticking out is a small stem with a very small bud on the end of it.
What sort of... Do I recognize it of any plant, or is it literally just...
You notice it as it could be a variety of wildflowers that you have seen before, yet it's almost frozen in its growth and stunted to not be able to flourish as you pull it out.
I sort of pull it out and just sort of dejectedly just throw it.
Or just tear it out and pull it out of the pot.
Let's go.
Yeah. Into the snow. And as you continue through on this very rough snow patch road, in only a couple hours, the Pass Without Trace is on, and all of your tracks seem to be hidden instantly. No tracks left behind, and you all begin to travel a lot quieter. The huffs and the growls of the wolves almost seemingly get quieter as well. And you do notice, though, as you are going through this landscape, you notice bits of snow is just disappeared in an area, and there is lush green grass. Poking out, you see a couple of the boulders. Like 1.5 of these boulders have just disappeared, and replaced it are a small bush and a large tree, healthy and vibrant, green.
Like it's been there for years.
Yeah. And you do see plenty, getting close to the village, you see plenty of these wildflowers that, you look around and there's just bricks and snow and gravel and dirt, but the dirt is frozen over. But you see wildflowers, bright yellows and blues, just flourished and lining some parts of the ground. It's a very weird oxymoron to see, or juxtaposition, where it's like just this frozen landscape that has been untouched for decades. Suddenly parts of it have flourished as if a weird weather event has hit, and the foliage and the life in this land is now sprouting up, or has sprouted and has been there for years. It's unsettling. However, just as you're about to approach into Elvik, you see this guard, this sort of portly human man, who's got a little bit of hide armor, and a small short sword to his side. Whoa! Hold! And just raises a hand up to all of you as Drimbar just slows down his dire wolf, as well as the others on the sled slow down. State your business.
What were you saying?
And just as you mumble that to the party, you hear Drimbar. We're just looking to pass through, friend. We're not looking to get up in the likes of the Fruity Loops like you. We just want to pass on. Well, be that as it may, I think there's... Are any of you good at problem solving? And behind, you hear a couple women just scream, "Ah!" and just running across from one area of the village to the end, and you see some of the chickens just flying out and running away, and you see some of the other like the livestock just running, and people freaking the fuck out behind him. So, problem solving, how's that looking your end?
We can try.
Okay, well please hurry. There's an issue near the barn, please. Welcome to Elvik, come on. And he just starts running, and his run is very slow. He is out of breath before he's even thinking about running.
Nice. If people will join with us, I will try to get out and help.
Yeah, Drimbar just kind of like sits on the direwolf and looks at the sled. If you all go, me and Braun will look after the sled.
Okay.
So much for just passing through. Honestly.
Well, if me and Rayloff are running,
Yeah, well,
it's better helping them. Maybe we have to come back here.
Don't worry. We are helping them while you go and do it. Good luck.
And both of you just sprint in and dash. Theon is still in the sled with Red, just for the time being, as both of you sprint in and you look and you don't see any fire or flames, and you look around and you see people running away from this small barn that is set in just the far western side of Elvik. And you see some of the livestock. You hear the horses trying to run away. You hear cows just beginning to try and make their way out, and chickens fluttering and flying everywhere and leaping from place to place. And the guard like catches up. Yeah, it's in there. It started in the dawn. Please, don't stop it. Please.
Stop what?
The devil. The demon. It's killing things. Just please go and do it. Help. And you see like part of like a horse begin to run out, and you see like part of its torso is just torn open and blood and guts just falling out.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a hand onto my halberd thingy, then I'm gonna start heading to the door.
I'll expose my dancing scimitar.
Okay. So, what are you doing?
Open the door.
Okay.
Where are you going in? Real
You run up, and Rayloff, you grab the barn door, and the light filters in, and you see a small build-up and lump of carcasses and just livestock are all lying across. You see sheep, goats, a cow, you see some chickens, all piled up in the far corner, just bloodied and torn apart. And you see a small silhouette just behind that large amalgamation of bodies, and you hear just a
We still got the pass without trace on.
We should.
You do.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll sort of
definitely
like try
also
and go into the room, just try
I
and
will
see
be
if I can get
following Rayloff.
Just so
Okay.
without trying to get attention initially.
Okay, so
See what's there.
you gently creep
That's
in.
stealthily going.
All you can see is just a small black silhouette in the corner behind like this feast in front of them, just this amalgamation of livestock.
Alright, oh, I'm just gonna keep getting closer then.
You get closer
Do I need...
and closer. Roll a stealth check for me.
What
Is
does pass without trace to then?
It gives you a
Just
plus
add
something.
to plus 10, I think it is. Let me just double click on it now. That's well, trace. Including you has a plus 10 bonus to dex stealth checks and can't be tracked to set magical means.
Yeah.
It is concentration.
That'll be non-natural 20 then.
Nice. Okay.
We'll see where I'm following behind you. That is 15
Okay.
Or with the plus 10.
with the plus 10. I rolled a
Jeez.
5.
All right.
I rolled trash. At least I did it though.
You creep and creep, and you just step on some hay that is across the barn floor. And in that moment, you hear just a slight ruffle and depression of that hay. And then you hear that stop.
I will personally stop if that was me making the rustle.
Gerald,
And
your ears are peaked by two sets of footfalls creeping in.
He's just going to he's going to use his mimicry essentially to sound as threatening as possible from the most like deeper voice that he's sort of heard. Stay away!
And you hear that stay away just envelop the entire barn.
does it sound Gerald-like?
No.
No, not at all.
Then I will slowly back off. Keeping an eye on this figure, but backing off.
You hear that voice behind you. What are you doing? Get it, deal with it!
Stick it!
Have you heard it?
Yeah?
You going?
Okay.
It's your turn. I'll give him the little boost of confidence shove.
I'm going to keep moving
And
forwards.
as he shoves forward, he just goes,
For Elvik.
and he just sprints, and you hear the footfalls, Gerald, get closer and
As this
closer,
happens-
and you see this large, portly guy leap into the air over the pile of bodies.
Well, as he's going, the voice is coming. I said, stay away! And Gerald's voice is going to come out on that away part, but he's going to cast Summon Draconic Spirit.
Okay.
And that is going to immediately do so a large metallic the silvery blue gold dragon resembling Adalon that you saw before but in a much smaller form is going to just summon in between them, and then is just going to unleash a cold blast of cold breath out.
Okay. So straight
that-
away, as you hear that away, and you do, both of you recognise Gerald's voice on that away part of the phrase. Before a dragon, a small silver golden dragon, and begins to
So-
breathe cold.
Everything in a 30-foot cone must make a dexterity
Okay.
saving throw.
That's everyone.
Amazing.
The guy got through.
I'm assuming I would technically get advantage on it because I can see it happening.
What, as in your danger sense, is not a trap?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we said it was. I'm pretty sure it counts as just spells as well.
For a danger sense?
Throws against effects you can see, while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Yeah, okay, I guess so then.
I got a non-natural 20. Non-natural 20.
Nice.
Oh yeah, so just traps and spells.
Oh, there you go.
Plus, with knowing that there's something there, it's
Yeah.
probably safe to say that I would know. I definitely know it's coming.
Alright, so roll the dex save.
Made no difference. Rolled an 11.
I'm going off my save as it doesn't actually
Yeah.
say on this stat sheet.
It'll be off yours.
So the save is 16.
I would've
So,
said-
so Terra succeeds, and Raelof and the Elvik god fails.
So that is 10 damage to those that fail, Colt, and 5 damage to Tara.
Yummy.
Alright.
I only take
I'm
5 cold damage.
In that moment, you see the god is like just holding up his short sword, and the dragon appears, and he's and as he like kind of backs away, he bumps into you, Tara, slightly.
I'll turn his shoulder so he's facing back the dragon's way and push him again.
And as you push,
Coward!
as you push, that's when the cold breath hits, and he just instantly is frozen in place in this tomb of ice around him.
I will shout out, Gerald!
Just leave me alone. Monsters don't need to be there. The dragon is also just going to dissipate. He's not actually going to concentrate on it. Just come away.
Sounds pretty cool. Like a genie. Going back into his lamp.
What is going on? What is this? Gerald.
Gerald's just going to be hiding, trying to sort of move away into the carcasses a bit more. to stay
Yeah,
away from
you're just gonna hear very
Just gonna-
angry footfalls going towards you.
Pass without a trace drops. Got 2
So
damage.
both of you, Raelof, what are you doing?
Oh, I was just saying, I was just gonna go towards him. Probably
Yeah.
just saying for Gerald, he's just gonna hear angry footfalls going towards him.
Yeah, Gerald, you in that moment of genuine fear you haven't felt in a long time, you hear and your heart pounding,
Do what you must. What?
You mean you're not doing anything?
No, Gerald's carry. He's not even going to be actually like looking. He's just going to be sort of just be huddled in.
Sarah,
Yeah.
make sure he's alright. I'm sort of gonna gesture to the icicle guard.
I'll look at the asshole guard like, what do you want me to do with him?
Oh. Heal him? Unfreeze him?
With my breath? Nothing will come out.
Heal at all?
In frozen ice?
Gerald, in this moment of those two arguing between each other, you hear in your head, satisfied. You've done well.
I'll try to chip away any ice that is able to be chipped away.
You go to chip,
Yeah.
and you just see the entire form crack spiderweb up and all crumble to little ice chunks with bits of body inside these chunks, just almost severed completely and frozen.
Really?
Great.
I don't know if I can do it.
I think you've done enough.
Gerald?
Ignoring it.
Gerald? Go.
But how much
Solid.
more do I need to do? How long will this continue? He's just going to be sort of talking to himself more rather than actually paying attention to what's happening.
Only because of what happened in the night, I will try to, I want to say reboot his brain. Obviously it's not going to reboot, but more of the, I'll try to grab both of his arms and look close to his face. Gerald!
Just let me go. Why? No. Okay, sort of just.
I'm
He's
gonna
not
try
going to fully
hold.
like get away. He's just going to
Yeah.
like just pull slightly against it.
Enjoy the warmth.
Whatever it is.
Your meal. Feast.
You can help me.
Feast.
You
Roll
can
a
see
Constitution
Gerald's-
saving throw.
Yeah, you can see tears streaming down Gerald's face as this is
Yeah.
happening. That's actually a 19.
Okay. And just as you hear that feast, you shove it away, and you see it.
I can't control it. Shouldn't be around you guys.
If anything, you need us more.
Just so I can creep up and just no. Don't want to say.
Maybe. I'll look back to see how close Rayloff is to me.
Pretty much right next to you. Because he was literally about to just pick Gerald up before you went to him.
I'll whisper in his ear, so hopefully only Gerald will hear.
Mhm.
I think you need to tell them. I don't know if that got picked up. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
yeah.
so. Cool.
Wasn't it obvious now?
To Rayloff.
With all this death and destruction, can't you see what I am? To rail off there.
And just at that point, as like Gerald does stand up more so, Rayloff,
You see him just caked in blood and guts, just blood just dried and dripping from his beak, across his feathered hands, across his torso, and chunks of meat, organs and flesh littered at his feet.
When,
I am just one of the
Gerald says
very
that,
monsters that you hunted, that we hunted together.
I'm going to back off so they can have their one-to-one kind of conversation. Close, but not.
I tried. But in the end, it's just getting too hard.
So, you what? Run away? And do this more? Is that what you want?
As long as I don't have people. Surely that'll be a more meaningful life.
What is this, Gerald?
Hang on. I'm a goddamn vampire, I love. Not through choice or anything, I've been cursed like this.
Right. So you think running away and what? Hiding is the best way to deal with it?
It's to protect people I care about. To me, almost attacking? Well, no, I have attacked this party before. I
Right.
just don't know about it. And I don't want to.
So what happens when this happens again? And again? And it gets worse and worse?
Then maybe some adventurer will come along and put me out of my goddamn misery.
Maybe. What about the trail that'll lead to you to there?
I'm not always in control.
So what? You need to hunt in order to be in control?
I was trying with the vials. This blood. I didn't just take Sierra's blood for the husks. I took it for myself. I thought it would satiate me.
And you didn't think to ask more when it was starting to get worse?
I'll just sort
So-
of glance over to Tara as that
Yeah.
happens.
You did. I thought I could help. It was working. But, and then I'll gesture myself. Then I turned into this. And I couldn't hold no more.
Then why didn't you just ask? Why leave this to happen? Because what? You were afraid?
I was afraid.
What? You were afraid of us not liking you anymore? Of us not trusting you?
There is no response to that.
Well, look where the trust's gone.
I'll go back towards Gerald's, like a bit closer. You'll still have mine. And then I'll back away. Just like a little add-in back out.
Worthy of people like you's help. We're doing things to help people correct their wrongs.
Well, unfortunately, Gerald, we're kind of stuck together.
Unfortunately.
Whether you like it or not, we have something to do here.
Like be friends? Unfortunate for you,
Need to
Rayloff. We're not all like you, have loads of friends. I have Mogwai.
What friends, Tara?
Mogwai. I don't have many. I'd like to consider you all my friends.
So you what? What? So you always lie to your friends? Do you hide stuff behind their backs from them?
If it's for what I think is the better. The thing
Does
is,
it look like it's for the better, Tara?
Rayloft, would you have changed anything else if you would have known the same information as I did? Would you have helped him and then thought maybe the sanity of yourself and maybe where Theron is at the moment? Do you think it was the best thought to bring that information up? Well, there's one dying situation after another one. Let's just add another one in.
Yes, because this is so much better.
Yeah, so what you're saying is, what I should have done, personally, is left you all and stuck to my one friend. No, I did what I thought was best. All I hear from you is you're arguing with a thought. It probably wasn't the best, admittedly, but we tried something. It got so far, didn't it?
What, my point is, why didn't you trust us enough? I can understand not saying initially, but for it to get worse, why?
Have you not felt these waves of energy? I don't even know what it is, but I can feel it. Could it be this? I know he's never been this bad. And surely you would have told us if it was this bad. Which you hadn't, let me add.
Either way, it makes no difference.
But it does though. If we can't stop it reasonably soon, go have an idea, or you're all on board. That's got to be in Gerald's time. This was an unfortunate accident. And at least it wasn't people. Yes, before you add the guy that in his eyes. But that was only self-defense. And he seemed pretty lame. To see if I crack a grin out of Gerald while he's so upset.
Not quite, no. But
That's
What is it
Yeah.
going to take for you to control this?
Can you crush these diamonds? Pulling out my attempt at crushing, making these diamonds into dust.
kind of ignoring that to Rail. I don't know. I drink blood to satisfy. And only in these past 2 days, with a couple exceptions, have I felt truly fulfilled.
And other than this, how much have you had?
It's increased every few months or so.
No. How much have you had in the last few days?
How am I supposed to know?
Have you had any?
Do you mean any?
Any
Look at the
blood?
carcasses around you.
Other than these, what have you had, Gerald?
I'm not even sure. I've lost count.
And we'll just have to carry on until we find out how many it needs, isn't it? Are you coming with us?
Can you crush the diamonds?
I just going to sort of take the diamond silvers, just like suss that, and just be like, what? And you would accept me just as a monster, and I'm just going to crush as hard as I can against those diamonds. Then
I need them in dust,
Mm.
so it's got to be really hard.
We'll see.
Roll a strength check with advantage, Gerald.
All right. That comes out as 18.
Gerald crushes and crushes and crushes the pouch in his hand, and just in this blood-curdled fury of upset, he lets go of the pouch and it falls to the ground, and you pick it up, Tara.
Yeah.
And except for maybe like 4 or 5 bigger solid bits, a lot of it is like not dust powder, but like broken glass kind of powder.
Diamond crumble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
The spell material, and I'll need you for clarification. It says a diamond dust worth at least 100 gold pieces. Would I visualize that would probably suffice?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say yeah.
I will take out the chunks of little bits that aren't dust. Put them back in my bag holding. I can give this a try. And with my staff, I'm going to take out the dust onto the floor. Adjust Gerald to be pretty much not on top, but very close near. And I'm going to takes an action, but I'm going to prolong it a little to make it hope that it will work.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use my staff to make a not as a no, I'm not. I am going to. I'm going to make a demon triangle.
Oh, like a pentagram.
Yeah. But with this diamond dust. And I'm gonna put like symbols on the sides and anything that I can think that would be able to possibly use my spell of Grace Restoration to possibly remove any related curse of his vampire. Anything that I can think of mentally from any books or anything.
Well, I told you that it came from the ring.
Well, I'm gonna try anyways. Okay, sorry. Oh, okay, it's a creature anyways. Oh, actually, without one creature including the target's attunements to a cursed magic item. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to still do it towards Gerald in general. And then just right at the end, hoping that any symbol of this would work. Your hand. And then if Gerald does let me hold his hand, I'm going to pinch wherever this ring is, unless it's like on your neck.
Nah, it's on my hand, right hand. I'll let you do it.
And I'm just gonna mumble any kind of incantation-y kind of words that would relate to the symbols that I may or may not have put on and hoping that one of them would work.
Okay. As Tara begins to mumble, each of the glyphs, every time she mumbles a different one, the diamond dust just slightly lights up a little bit, and then around. As she continues mumbling different attempts. And just on the second to last one, as you mumble in, you hear Tara just very gently utter, "Hello to see me." Gerald, you feel like part of your mind is just cracked open for a moment. It's very slight. And Terry, you feel like you've locked on to something. And as you begin to push the arcane and the energy through and attempt to do greater restoration, I want you to roll a d20 and add your spell mod. And at that point, Gerald, you begin to feel...
Luck dice.
What's that?
I'm using my luck die.
Okay.
Oh, I will say this thing as well.
I'm gonna use it again.
You to read them.
I want this to fucking work. Use 2.
No.
Worth it though. Natural 20.
Fucking A.
With my spell modifier makes it 24 if that helps.
Okay. You, Gerald, I want you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me as Tara begins to push this arcane in, and you begin to hear in your head, "No, don't let her push. No, be hungry, bird." What did you roll?
8.
And you feel that burning in your chest rise and rising it hotter and hotter. You feel the ring on your hand begin to sear and burn into your skin. You see a slight steam coming off from that ring. And you hear that voice, "No, no, no." And in that moment, Gerald, you look down. You see the ring is still there. Intact, completely untouched. You don't hear anything in your head. Right now you are past the point of full. You are satiated, more and more so, to the point where you are so content you couldn't imagine having another drop for days. And in this moment you feel so calm and peaceful. No entrapments or no small feelings of being a monster snaking into your mind. Nothing. Just calm, peaceful. Still akin to your vampiric nature, but so normal.
Almost forgetting about that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you just do?
I tried to remove your curse.
You know, like, massive weight has been lifted from my mind.
I'll take it. And I'll just like full on like rugby tackle his body, and I'll try to attempt to lift him up into the air, just pure.
That's easy enough done. It's fairly small, and Gerald,
Well,
you
it's getting done.
get picked up.
Oh no! Let me put it down.
I'll put it down.
I'll shut my ears out. I'm just going to actually go up and just sort of. He's going to just go to one of the barn walls, put his hand up, and just see essentially if he lifts himself and if he just holds on to the wall like he would be able to climb it.
You set your hand on, and you lift one leg, and then as you take the second leg off the ground, you only slightly slip a little, but then you take a breath, and you see the ring on your hand gently glisten a little bit more than usual, and you go up with one more arm, and you are holding just a flat palm against the barn wall, about 2 feet off the ground, comfortable and easy.
He's going to give like more of a just that defeated side. It's not 100%.
I will say as well,
Mm.
just in that moment of relief, you also feel slightly weaker than just before. What's your hit dice?
A D8.
Can you roll a d8 for me, please?
5 plus con is 6 if you do that.
Alright, so we'll just go off the dice roll. So it's 5 flat.
Mm-hmm.
Gerald, I want you to remove 5 points from your maximum HP.
Okay. So that puts me at, I've just got maths wrong, 67 HP.
You feel slightly weaker in that moment, but so relieved and relaxed. The voice is no longer there. That dying hunger, that almost starving nature of a rabid animal is not inside you anymore. And really, the only person that you feel you need to thank is Terra in that moment, that weird wash of arcane and druidic nature over you. For anything to actually snake through the cracks and get to you, get to your inner vampire. Odd and very rare.
I didn't think you could actually even get close to doing just removing this curse.
In an attempt to smile.
It may not be as I just dropped down, be fully gone, but oh, the relief. He's actually going to properly hug
Yeah,
Tara then.
I'll accept the hug, but more of a like. We're always here to help.
I'm
To be honest,
sorry. I've done so much.
it's okay. But, and I'll not push him away, but like enough so he can see me face to face.
Yeah, it's just...
If you need anything, tell us. We'll try our best. I only knew about this literally last night, so I can try. And I'll embrace him again after he's wiped his tear.
You hear an odd voice make its way into the barn. What in the gods has happened to you?
A good ending.
And Brom quickly just runs up and like fast walks to you, Gerald, and while
I'll
you're
step
not
out
well
the way.
holding Terra, and he just grabs the side of your face. Are you okay, my darling?
Okay.
And in that moment, just grabs both sides of your face and just brings in for a big kiss, and then hugs you and holds. Let's get you somewhere to rest.
He's just good to sort of just nod and allow him to be led away if you go.
And Brom just like with his arm around you, just very gently leads you. And as he does,
As you get to the precipice at the door, I'll just say out, Gerald,
I'll stop Brom to turn a bit.
before we leave here, you need to make sure you apologize to the people here. And we'll be discussing later what happened with everyone. No more secrets.
He'll just nod at that.
okay, now come on. And Brom begins to lead Gerald out, And just at that point, Drimbar comes riding up on the wolf with the sled behind him, just being pulled.
Have all of you done? Did you end up helping the nice man?
We did. We did.
Oh, that's really, really good then. That's a bit of a mess in that barn, though.
It's okay. They'll use it for fertilizer or something.
And you dealt with the issue.
We have. Hopefully for good.
Well, that sounds good enough to me. Should we find somewhere to rest up a little?
Yes, just not this barn.
Definitely not this barn, it's a little too small.
Yes.
And Drimbar begins to wander in. You see some of the townsfolk kind of looking through their windows, and not so many people immediately outside. But
Is this by them doing it on purpose, or?
yes, not only due to the commotion that was just caused, but you see a few people just wander out. Excuse me,
Yes.
is the attack over?
We believe so. We've sorted it out for you.
Yes, they sorted it out. And you begin to see all the townsfolk begin to come out, and you just hear some claps just to come your way, and then, yeah, we're free! And just a bunch of the crowd just begin to just yell in celebration. And before you even got a chance to get a look of Elvik and a lay of the land, strangers come up to you and hand all of you just multiple plates and offerings of meat and fresh frothy ales, just pushing them into your bosoms and your chests. And you see this very tall man, almost like half Goliath, half orcish, with grey-green skin and one tusk with a few tattoos across the sides of his face and body. But he comes out and he's dressed up in like a nice button-down shirt, trousers that are just a little bit too short, and he reaches over, and as you see his face from this like small little like trilby hat, you see this really thick mustache that is so well maintained and perfectly set on his face, just gently covering some of his top lip. And he just grabs an ale from someone who's passing them around and just clinks one with yours, as he just kind of like just you pretty much like all of you at the group, and he just racks them all at the same time. He's just and you see a bit of the ale drop out, and he just goes, "Thank you for being our heroes, and welcome to Elvik." And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode, and come back again next week to continue from there, the journey to Geralf. Well, one thing I want to say, I know we're still running, but I want to say to all of you, it was an awesome fucking episode. So I'd like all of you to have a inspiration point each for being incredible during the RP. And Gerald, that was fucking nuts, by the way.
It was crazy.
Oh, it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed doing that.
I loved it.
Definitely.
Shit, that was fun.
So much fun.
I'll make sure we did have a new follower, so I'll make sure to thank him. Thank you for following Architect Art Gaming. Thank you very much for following. We hope you're enjoying the show, and maybe see you next time. And join in for the YouTube series and everything. Yeah, same time next week. Yes, to everyone, with all that said and done, thank you very much for watching. It was a lot of fun, and we'll see you again next time.